So many possible worlds, but we got this one. So many possible worlds, but we got this one.
Welcome to the worst of all possible worlds, the first and only podcast coming to you live from La Burla Bee in Colorado Springs, Colorado, 80903. I'm the worst of all possible AJs.
I'm the worst of all possible, Brian.
And I'm the worst of all possible, Josh is. And that is a great intro that we just did for the first time.
Once. Woo! One time.
One time.
All right, and as I was saying, make sure everybody please drink a lot, eat a lot, tip your bartenders, things of that nature. They're a great team.
Yeah.
We've had a great time working with them so far, and we hope you enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here we are in Colorado.
Yes.
This is my first time in Colorado. Y'all have been to Colorado before?
Yes.
Colorado a few times. I'm from New Mexico, so that would be kind of weird.
It would be very weird for you to ignore
Yeah.
the state. I was very excited to come to Colorado because I heard some interesting rumors about the Denver International Airport. Namely, that it has the worst vibes of any airport in the country.
That's true.
That there is a funny little gargoyle that looks at you while you're getting your bags.
Yeah.
And that there is a giant statue of a horse.
No, AJ.
Outside the Denver International Airport, who is known as Blue Mustang or Blucifer, I guess colloquially. And you know what? I think that means that it's time for a very particular segment. Ooh, yeah.
AJs Horse Corner.
Really? We're doing this. This is the first thing that we're doing?
We're opening the show with the horse corner. Really?
Hey,
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, evil horse god. Are you known for your prominent veins, scrotum, and anus?
No.
Because Wikipedia says that you're known for your prominent veins, scrotum, and anus. Can you imagine Wikipedia describing you as being known for your prominent veins, scrotum, and anus? Because I have. Often. Ooh, are you sure you're a big blue horse and not a big blue ox? Because you are a certifiable babe.
God damn it.
Paul on my bun till I yun, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean?
Absolutely not.
Extremely loud.
Absolutely
Correct,
not. Yeah,
Ooh,
no.
yeah! Crush me, horse Goliath. Like you crushed your sculptor and literally killed him.
That's true. The sculptor was killed by this horse.
It's actually an incredibly tragic story. The sculptor's name was Luis Jimenez, and while putting the finishing touches on the statue, part of it broke off and crushed him to death. So, don't do that to me, but, get close. This has been AJ's Horse Corner.
Ooh, yeah. AJs Horse Corner.
So, show of hands, how many of you are experiencing our show for the first time? Okay, great. 3, 4 people? Yeah, welcome aboard.
Welcome.
6, yeah.
Yeah, sick. So, we do a show.
So if you think I'm obsessed with horses, let me tell you a little something about Focus on the Family's
yeah.
bookstore.
Oh, baby boy.
Yeah. So we do a show about, pop culture and the nature of pop culture, reactionary narratives therein.
Yeah, and specifically an evangelical show, a radio show called Adventures in Odyssey that
Right.
Josh and I grew up listening to.
Yes. And the whole reason that we came out here to begin with is that Focus on the Family was doing their 1000th episode celebration for Adventures in Odyssey. And so we decided to see what it was all about. And the first thing that we did when we got into Colorado Springs, literally we got from the airport to here.
We still had our bags.
And then we went to the visitor center at Focus on the Family. And,
A lot of horse books.
yeah.
Entire shelves of horse books.
Yeah, it was an overwhelming amount of horse books, and it was funny because there were horse books for kids, and then there were romantic and novels for adults.
Adult horse
It was a
books.
lot of guys, shirtless guys with horses, and I just think that was
For the Lord.
For the Lord, yeah. It was teaching them how to make their marriage better, but I was
They're married to the horse.
Yeah, you have to bring
What's
it.
hard to understand here, AJ?
Sometimes you got to bring in a third. But, it was... It was very shocking to me because I didn't think romance novels were in Christian bookstores.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, these are romance novels about pining for your
I see.
spouse of the future. And this was the thing about this bookstore
They're a
in general.
robot.
Yeah, they keep it very well stocked with just all sorts of things that are intended for Christian adults, Christian
I imagine
children.
that a bunch of people in this crowd are people who have been to Christian bookstores, but not recently. Is that a pretty accurate assessment? I'm seeing a lot of nodding heads.
Clap
Yeah.
if you've been to a Christian bookstore within the past 10 years. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
There was a little hesitancy at first. It's okay. You're in a safe space.
Yeah. So they've gotten a lot more explicitly fascist.
Yeah, so...
Here is Focus on the Family's cop corner. I didn't get the Punisher skull shirt, but I sure got the thin blue line hat. Followed by the thin green line hat for military police, I suppose.
Not for
And it
park
just
rangers like I
keeps
saw.
going. We got camo, we got leopard print. I don't really know why that's with all the American
Well, that's for the
stuff.
girlies. Don't worry about
But
it.
this is very patriotic. It's very live, laugh, love.
Yeah.
Girls can be fascists too, Brian.
It's very, yeah.
Also, that was me in the corner moving, pretending to admire the shirts because I was filming them going, what the fuck is this? and a woman walked by me that moment like, oh, my dad will love this. And I just started taking photos.
I had to keep walking up to AJ and Josh and being like, stop saying fuck. We can't get thrown out yet. We have to
Cannot
see
get
the
thrown
show
out.
on Saturday.
Yeah, and it was hard. It was really hard not to just scream fuck at every opportunity.
This is the thing, right? We for some reason we decided that it would be a good idea to go there the day before the actual event got started. And part of the idea was, well, we wanted to see the replica Wits End and get ourselves
wanted to get a goddamn chocolate soda. That's what it's fucking
That's
famous
right,
for.
Brian.
World famous. Wad fam. That's the whole thing.
I needed my wad.
But unfortunately, the replica Wits End was already closed.
getting ready for the event.
And so we just kind of left. I mean, there was
Despondent.
also... Yeah,
we were sad.
We were sad. You know, yeah. What
We'd already been infused with the vibes of the place. Like it was like on us. Like when we got home, everyone was like, "We have to shower. Like we have to get this."
I took a
us.
long, cold shower. But how would
Yeah.
we describe sort of the vibes, as we were stepping out of the Focus on the Family bookstore, both like our own personal vibes and the vibes of the campus more broadly?
Well, it felt to me like a really bad college campus. Like it's like trying to like mimic sort of the like academic institutions of like the of higher learning.
Yeah.
But it doesn't quite make it. Like it looks like they cut a few corners in terms of
and
its
most
construction.
colleges don't have themed parking lots like Disneyland.
Right.
Yeah.
And we walked out the door and realized that we had parked in the most important parking lot of all, the Eugene lot.
Now, all of you looking at this image, if you're anything like me, your eyes gravitated to a very specific part. Can we enhance, please? Look at that dick! Look at, it's got a head!
There's a print. There is a print.
AJ was like, we got to get a picture of this. We took the picture, we posted it to Twitter, and it got 12,000 likes.
It is our most liked
Only
tweet
time we had a viral
of
post
all
ever
time.
on that account, and it's Eugene's dick. Like half the people I think are just like overwhelmed by the confidence of this. They're like, oh yeah, the Eugene lot. I don't know why Scott the Woz is there, but then the other half of the people are like, why am I remembering the dark things from my childhood?
I'm alone in an imagination station.
Yeah.
I'm in hell.
So that was the first day. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, they didn't have anything themed at that point. We did talk to there was I would say charitably a 15-year-old who was there to check us in, and
he was very aggressive about getting us checked in.
Oh,
to get
yeah.
on the mailing list.
Yeah, so Brian got some stickers, and by that I mean
stickers.
Brian
do you
stole
have
some
the stickers?
I have a couple of those stickers. I can give them away.
Who wants some stickers from Focus on the Family?
Okay, all right.
Okay, here's the thing. They have wit on them. So if you want to...
Here,
Anyone wants this? I can't stand it.
I'll be the runner.
Congratulations on your stickers.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, it was very interesting because like we already like got a preview of what was to come. Like we could walk around this like giant like basically dome in the center of it that like mimics sort of like state capitals, but there's just
or like like a church maybe.
Oh sure.
If you've ever been in a church that has a dome, say like an Orthodox church, you'll see some angels or clouds or golden sky and the light turned golden there for a second.
If you go to the U.S. Capitol building and you look up in the rotunda, you've got like George Washington riding a horse surrounded by angels.
George Washington. And of course, because this is like the epicenter of all evangelical Protestantism, you look up at the top of that dome from underneath, blank white.
It's just
We could have taken a picture, but it's literally just blank white.
It was just a picture of a circle.
Picture a white circle inside
Rotated in your
another
mind.
white circle. That's all you get.
Yeah, so we got the hell out of there. It should be said too that Adventures in Odyssey is sort of like their only media franchise that's still like going, and there's a corner of the bookstore dedicated to it, but it has not been updated in like maybe 10 years.
They were showing clips from the cartoon. I think the last one of those was made in like 2002. And all we saw as we're walking up to this giant TV is like that little kid Dylan Taylor and his shitty dog.
Right.
And they think they see Wit, and the guy turns around and he's just a Chinese guy?
Yeah. It was cool.
That was like their idea of a gag.
Yeah, all of us, when that happened, all of us went, "Ah!" like at the same time, like we had been jump scared. And like other people like turned to look at us, and we were already in masks, which was already like,
That's right.
We were already interlopers, and we just had to be like, oh, this is funny to us. Please don't kill us.
I am curious, just again, like looking at the crowd right now. Clap if you've been to Focus on the Family.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
You also got stickers then. I see you didn't wear them tonight.
Yeah,
so
the big discovery that I had was because Focus on the Family was like, we love everyone that is in the right placement, family-wise and sexuality-wise and Christianity-wise. Come on and visit us. And so they had so many people visiting that someone actually donated a visitor center, which is where they built all of this themed entertainment stuff. And the people who donated this visitor center were Elsa and Edgar Prince, the father and mother of Betsy DeVos and Eric Prince, the founder of Blackwater. Also major donors to my high school.
And mine. Oh, well.
AJ went to a Catholic school. He's okay.
yeah, nothing problematic there.
So, why don't we move on to talking about what we got to...
Anything to move on from this slide, please.
I had to keep it up.
So did Eugene.
Let's talk about what happened on Friday, shall we?
Yeah.
Because we, rolled up.
Roll up to the building.
And this is what we saw.
Yes, so this is the actual Odyssey experience. This is like they basically did Sleep No More, an immersive theater thing, but for Odyssey.
Yeah.
And this is the crowd, as you can see. Also, take note of the Christian flag.
Crowd into two because Protestants love to get up in the morning. The first experience was at 7:30 a.m.
We were not doing
that.
that.
Tell everyone, please do not show up more than 45 minutes before this begins. We showed up at 2:30 for the second experience. 20 minutes before, everyone was there.
Yeah, these people did not follow the instructions that were laid out for them.
They had to send an email right before the thing started saying, for everyone coming in RVs, please, you cannot just stay in our parking lot. People work here.
And people still stayed in that parking lot in RVs.
They certainly did.
It was
certainly
littered
did.
with RVs, yeah.
So, already rolling up, and you could get a sense from that video, I mean, there were just so many people, and they were so excited. What you don't hear in that video, because there's no sound, is the sound of all of the children going, ah! And there were many of them.
Yeah.
Except for the Mennonite children. They were very quiet.
And there were a lot of
there
them.
were so many Mennonites.
Many
I
Mennonites.
had no idea they loved Adventures in
Mennonites.
Odyssey.
Yeah.
Well, and there was also like a staff member who was wearing a sort of Mad Hatter hat that was just running up and down going, A through G, ah!
Yeah, that's right. It was so they had everything sort of sectioned off by like first letter of your last name. So like A through G was like one group, or it was actually A through C. There were a lot of A names. And section by section, it was very much like going to vacation Bible school.
Yeah,
It was like you have some lady just hyping you up. You're just waiting to get inside. You're baking in the sun, and you just want to see some scripture.
I would be curious. I want to try to replicate the experience of like trying to find the line here real quick. So
Sure.
you all have last names, right? Yeah.
What are we doing?
So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna figure out like who's in what category. So
Sure.
if your last name's between A and C, say hooray. Yeah, okay, that's great. You would have done great there. Many of the people who were there didn't quite understand the instructions, which is why they had so many people walking the lines.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, it'd be like, this line's from A through C. And then you'd see a couple families be like,
Oh, our name starts with F, but we just happen to park in the Eugene lot.
And they walk to the Q through Z section, and then they wait till they get to the front of that one. And it's like, oh God, F! I'm sorry. But it was mostly chaos, and it was just a lot of people. It was very overwhelming. It was like approaching Helm's Deep and just seeing like the orcs coming over the mountain. You're like, dear God, we're gonna die.
You're approaching Helm's Deep, but you're seeing the orcs. Which side of Helm's Deep are you on here, AJ?
The good side.
Oh, okay.
So there was basically we then went into the visitor center. They directed us to the welcome center that we had been in the day before, the bookstore, and this is where the main theming happens.
Yeah. So we got on the main floor, still the reception area. There are a bunch of tables. We got swag bags. You could get stamped if you visited every table.
Right.
So they had a table that showed the Indian version of Adventures in Odyssey. There is a Hindi live action version. There was this like spin to win game. There was a table that was telling you all about how we can finally get rid of abortion forever.
Yeah.
All the really fun stuff that didn't make us incredibly upset.
I want a Milky Way.
And it was very strange because, each of these tables was just like pamphlets for some bullshit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then there was the candy table, and it was just this very strange thing of each of these different tables corresponds to a different piece of focus on the family's ministry because legally, folks, they're a church now.
Yeah.
They've been legally a church since the year 2017 because they basically dared the IRS to shit check them, and the IRS
dared them
did
to
not.
discipline.
And so all we were seeing was like countless people at these tables grabbing these pamphlets that were telling you about like, here are some resources that you can purchase from Focus on the Family if you're thinking about divorcing your wife. Don't do it, you're so sexy.
Don't do it.
Yeah, they
Just get a horse.
Just get it solves everything. But they also had like stickers for what kind of parent you were, which I thought was very weird.
yeah.
Because there are only 4 types of parents.
There was like leader, and then there was talker. So I got a talker sticker for all of us because let's be real here. I have any other traits?
I literally just like grabbed handfuls of them and ran
Oh
away.
yeah, I was grabbing candy. I was like in front of children. I didn't care. I was walking out with everything I could. They already got enough of my money.
Yeah, and I will say that we were wearing masks, and one of the things I was really worried about was that people would clock us, wearing the mask because no one else really was. And for the most part, nobody really cared about it. The only people that ever gave us side eye were what we referred to as the Oakley dads.
Yeah. The kind of guys who think it's a great family vacation to go to the 9/11 memorial.
Yeah. Didn't we see one that was like an American flag, but instead of the stars, it was the Oakley symbol?
It was the Under Armour logo.
It was the Under Armour logo.
Yeah.
I apologize.
really love just how much is going on in the average American's brain. We are all insane in our own special ways, and we've all learned various ways to like subsume what America is into our little diseases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once everybody was like sufficiently propagandized, and I got so much cool stuff.
And we walked
folks.
by the armed guards.
That's
was
right.
Fun.
Yes.
And they had guns and tasers.
That's right.
Ooh.
We headed down the solarium into Wits End.
Yeah,
Now,
the famous Adventures in Odyssey solarium. So many adventures took place in Mr. Whitaker's butterfly cage.
Brian is really
greenhouse.
angry about canon.
He's so angry. I'm calling Marshall Younger right now.
This immersive exhibit needs to adhere to the laws of Odyssey canon.
Yes.
Basically,
we don't count the cartoon.
that's right, Brian. And basically what's going on here is, and you can sort of see here, like so many people. This is a permanent exhibit that exists at the Focus on the Family Welcome Center, and it exists probably to have a throughput of a few dozen people a day.
Yeah.
And there were
Everything goes through one hallway.
Right.
Yeah, like it's
And this is that hallway.
This
yeah.
is that
Right.
hallway. So everybody was going there. Someone, you'll see later, someone was getting into their big character costume in the men's room, and then they came out and everyone was just swarming him for pictures right there.
Yes.
Yeah, we have a picture of that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Again, the thing about this is that all of this would have looked really cool in like 1994, but it has not been updated since.
No.
So it feels like you've walked into Disneyland and like they have
It's all Splash Mountain. It's all a movie
everything
that no
is
one's
Splash
watched.
Mountain.
There is an entire room themed after Last Chance Detectives. Yes!
Wait, who said? You got a Last Chance Detectives?
We have the creator of Last Chance Detectives here.
So many possible.
Hey there, you are listening to a preview of a premium episode of The Worst of All Possible Worlds. If you'd like to listen to the rest of this, head on over to our Patreon. That's patreon.com/worstofall. And you can listen to not only the rest of this episode, but our entire backlog of premium episodes, bonus episodes, and if you subscribe at the $10 tier, you will get an extra episode of the podcast every single month. Again, that is patreon.com/worstofall. Hope to see you there.